How you doing, everyone? It's Alexander here, and what I want to talk about today is the power of beauty. And before I go on my ramble, I just want to show you this, and it's cinematic, so I'm just going to move out of the way so we can really see this, what I'm seeing. Beautiful sun, beautiful mountain ridge, a little bit of the sea to the side, right? And a beautiful, lovely park with palm trees in the back. So standing here, I'm thinking, what am I gonna talk about on my video? Because all I want to do is be silent. I don't really have this buzz going on in my head like I do before I'm about to record the video. You know, like ideas kind of bursting, and I'm just like almost like about to explode with content. And this time is different. And this is really the power of beauty. This is really what it does to us, this natural beauty, nature's own architecture, mountains, trees, the whole landscape is stunning, and it brings stillness. It brings stillness because it is stillness itself, right? Look at it. The mountains aren't going anywhere. I mean, they're moving slowly. If you study the geology or some sort of geography and whatnot, geotechnics and engineering, you know they're moving slowly, but it is stillness compared to us, related to us. Beauty brings stillness in our lives, in your lives. And how often do you allow stillness to permeate you in your life? You see, we're caught up so much with the noise of our lives, with must do this, must do that, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, what's my schedule, book another call, reschedule, move this, move that, arrange another one, message another 10 people for a phone call. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep doing, keep doing, keep doing. And it's not wrong to do. It's just too much of anything is poison, right? Too much of food is poison. Too much partying is poison. Too much sex. Too much time with your loved ones. Too much time with your family. Too much time relaxing. Too much time sleeping. Complete absence of action for most people is also quite like death. Only for very, very few select monks, swamis, gurus, it is a thing. It is something. So for a lot of us caught up in work, 9 to 5, hustle, this, that, how much time do you spend in real stillness? In real savoring real beauty of nature? Being, just existing. Like life, not just like your mind, but going beyond your mind, beyond your emotions. And it's almost like going somewhere is going in the direction. In fact, it's not going somewhere because it's always there. It's always there, and we just get glimpses of it throughout life. But really where we want to be is there, home, that place of stillness. And it's discovery of that place that truly brings that peace. Just talking about it doesn't do it. We often get stuck in talking about. We're not experiencing. We're not even feeling. We're not even feeling. You see, we get confused as well. People talk a lot about left brain, right brain. One is feeling, another is thinking. One is emotions, another is thoughts. One is logical, mathematical, sharp angles, equations, engineering, science. Another one is creative, art, music, literature, painting, dancing. And the more we think that, the more split we are as human beings, the more disintegrated we are as entities, as persons. Because there is no left or right brain, there is only one. And not even brain, but mind. Mind. Okay? Brain is a physical half sphere looking like a walnut in your head. That is just part of the mind. The mind's intelligence goes throughout the whole body. That is your full intelligence. You do not think your cells into reproducing. You do not think your heart into beating. You do not think growth of your cells, healing of your wounds. You do not visualize it or even control it in any way. Your breath can be very much unconscious. In fact, when you sleep, you're still breathing. Otherwise, you die. Conscious breathing takes quite a bit of an effort for a lot of people. There is intelligence working throughout your body constantly. And there is intelligence in your mind. And so one way to look at it, which is not an absolute thing, but one way to look at it is thoughts is the intelligence of the brain, and emotions is the intelligence of the body. Okay, it's not quite 100%, but it is one way to look at it. Emotions are intelligence of the body, and the thoughts are intelligence of the mind. And somehow, well, mind being very powerful, we learn somehow to disconnect from our emotions as being very logical people in our Western world, especially men, but women quite a lot as well these days. I see a lot of overly logical women, overly logical men, disconnected from their emotions and not feeling, not knowing how to feel. The answer I get quite often when I ask, how do you feel? The answer I get is a logical answer. I feel this about that. The answer in a thought pattern. How do you feel? Well, how do I feel? I think this, that. No. How do you feel? And it's usually a one-word answer. Angry, sad, happy, joyful, pissed off, frustrated, furious, loving, excited, joyful, peaceful. That is that simple, right? And you don't have to find the right word to describe an emotion, but you know the basics. Basic 6, 10, and that is how you feel. And that is in the body, quite often here in the chest or in the stomach. In the stomach, and if there is some tightness, you might feel it in the shoulders. And there's quite a bit around our genitalia, because this is where most people's trauma energy is concentrated about. Because most of our shame, most of our trauma, most of our awkwardness come from our unexpressed sexuality. Things we suppress. And so we keep trying to disconnect from feeling, because it's awkward, it's unpleasant, and I gotta work, I gotta focus at work. I have an important meeting, important call, it's business. I cannot express, obviously express your sexuality on the business call, right? That's not the place and time. But then you never get to do it. Or only short period of time with your partner until you both get involved in business and you drop that sexual expression as well. And society is traumatized. And if you have a look, there's a church there in the back. Here. Come on, there you go, right there. Orthodox Church. And Christianity done a good share of suppressing sexuality, human sexuality, right? Not just mine, yours, all of you here. And all other religions as well, pretty well done that. So not knowing how to address the very fundamental life force in all of us, coming from animal kingdom through evolution, not knowing how to address that life force that created everything that exists, including plants and trees and little animals and big animals and worms and bugs and ants and birds and tigers and cats and dogs and cows. Maybe that could be even your favorite food, or chickens. Not knowing how to address any of that, we continue living. We continue living and creating mental asylums. And we call them cities. And we call ourselves citizens of a city. And people who live in London call themselves Londoners. But what they actually are patients in an asylum. And I'm one of them. I'm just switching asylums to a smaller one. Maybe I'm gonna get more care and there's a little bit more greenery, okay? There's a bit more greenery in my asylum. We're all nuts and we don't know how to address it. We don't know, we're stuck, we're embarrassed, we're ashamed, we have nobody to talk to. We don't bring up these conversations with our friends, with our family, with our colleagues. We always think it's inappropriate, and then everyone's thinking the same thing, pretending they're not. And the only game really in the West is, anywhere really, is this: pretend to be normal. How normal can you pretend to be? Well, you know, how good of an actor are you? You don't need to practice acting to realize how much of an actor you are. How much of a shitty or good actor you are. Suppressing everything you feel, slowly kills you inside. And I'm not saying like go and start expressing everything you feel. It's not quite that simple, right? We really don't learn how to process our thoughts and our emotions, and what even is it? You know, we over-identify with our thoughts. We, you know, the sentence goes, my thoughts is something I own, not something I am. But a lot of people identify, oh, I'm thinking this must mean I am that. You know, somebody went in front of you in a queue or in a car or whatever, and you're angry and you get a thought of punching them or throwing them on the road or shouting at them, and then you think, oh, that's bad, I'm a bad person, I cannot be like that, I gotta change myself, I gotta go and pray that God saves me from this. Obviously don't express it. Don't go around and killing people and punching people and throwing them and shouting at your friends or family or boss or colleagues or anyone else, right? But yet, instead of stuffing down, we have to just allow it to be, allow the sensation to be with it, and allow it to pass through and really take its place in the body. Not to take over the body, but take its place. And that is practice in consciousness. Now, one of the reasons we don't allow it is because we're afraid we're gonna explode and actually act out in a bad way. Act out in a way that maybe can hurt us in the future. And so we learn that, and it's understandable. We don't want to get violent. We don't want to get too crazy. We don't want to get I would say it. We don't want to lose our livelihood because of it. But then we never seem to address it. So what are you doing in your life to create yourself a space where you can actually address all of that pent-up stuff? Some people do therapy. Some people do meditation. Some people get drunk and talk to their friends, complain and cry. Some people go on a holiday. Some people shout or sing or paint or write poetry, music, songs. But everyone must have some way, right? It can be gym, it can be exercise, it can be dancing, but really finding something that works effectively and ideally doesn't require any substance, any drug, any alcohol, any pill. Ideally, it's not a therapist, although any sort of work like that, therapy, coaching it can be very effective, right? Can be very effective. There are some ineffective people in that field, but can be very effective. But there has to be one that you do with yourself, really. Just you and you. Schizophrenia. You and you and you and you. Just you and yourself, and no one else. Me, myself, and I. And it can be letting go process, it can be meditation, it can be journaling, just letting it all out in the journal. It can be making a video, podcast, a vlog, captain's diary, like they do in spaceship movies. It can be that. And if you just do those two things, create a practice of stillness in your life where you can really appreciate life's beauty. And it can be something like going to nature once in a while, to the beach, to the shore. It can be, again, meditation and stillness, watching your breath. But for a lot of people, it's just not going to cut it. For a lot of people, it's just not going to quite do it. Juicy views. For a lot of people, meditation and stillness is more like a torture than pleasure. So bring yourself to places that bring you stillness. A temple, a very, very beautiful view, nature, beach. Maybe you can create an altar in your own house, in your own room. Maybe it's some object that brings you that. A book, a crystal, some little statue of Buddha. You look at it and it brings you that stillness and peace, and you just look at it and enjoy it. Maybe it's a picture of sea. You can find that on the internet. You can print out a large one. And just being mesmerized by beauty is one of the most powerful experiences in life, and it really brings that peace and stillness. And that's a beautiful place to be. That's a beautiful place to be. And that is what I wish for you to find, to discover, to bring more into your life. Stillness and processing of your emotions. And on that note, I wish you a beautiful, lovely day, week, and a month, and a life. Have a good one. Bye-bye.